Born in Pak Chong, Thailand, and was abandoned at birth because she has no legs. At 5 years old, Kanya Sesser was adopted and moved to Oregon, USA. Today, you can easily find Kanya Sesser from the internet for her skills and talents in skating, surfing, modeling, acting, speaking, and doing stunts. Kanya is the first Asian woman that I know who did not allow her physical appearance to define her. She is a person who has no limitation, and she is not going to use the excuse of having no legs to stop her from living her life full out. I want you to listen closely to this interview so that you can be inspired and motivated from her story. And here she is, Kanya Sesser.
Hi, everybody! I'm so excited.
Welcome. So, Kanya, what are the earliest memories from your childhood that you can remember?
The earliest that I can remember is I was it was very difficult because I was trying to transition myself to be around all these nurses that was taking care of me. And I remember like I had a lot of love with these nurses, and I just was living in a foster home, and I had to transition from nurses to foster home, and it was really difficult, and I was really stubborn. And but the thing, at the same time, they told me that I was very smart for my age and very wise, and I just started walking on my hands. I remember that. I remember I like walked on steps on my own, and they were surprised how strong I was. Yeah. And also I remember them telling me that, I used to be very fascinated with, because I used to live in a hospital. That's where the nurses are, and that's where they took care of me for a little while. And I remember I was really intrigued in the like the delivery room where the babies and all that, where you have your babies, and the doctor says that I would criticize him or tell him right or wrong or what he's doing wrong, and be like, no. And I comforted the woman that was about to give birth, and the woman told me that I would just relax them, and just like I was a good joy before like they had their baby in the nursing. That's all I remember. So
Wow, this is in Thailand, right?
yes, this was in Thailand.
Wow.
Yeah. So I made sure that, and I was really smart, because they said that I would remember how the doctors would do it, of how to deliver the baby. And I would just be like, no, this way, or like in Thai, my first language was Thai. So I would speak in Thai, like, no, this way, no, you're doing it wrong, you need to do this. But they love how I just like comforted the woman before they gave birth. So that's the, yeah.
Wow, it's like an angel on their
Yeah,
side.
again.
Wow, wonderful.
That's exactly what they said. It's like an angel full of joy, and just like someone to like they felt comforted, and
Wow. So you mean you live in hospital all of your life until the time that you got adopted?
no. So this is what happened is I was found on sometime in September. I think the early September of 1992, and it was really early. The dad, like an older man, which is the brother, not the dad, but like the older man, was bicycling, to a shop. So Pak Chong is like country Thailand, like the countryside of Thailand, and he heard a baby crying, and it was like really early morning, where like the sun was barely even going up, and he heard a baby crying, and he checked on what it is, but he had to go back to get his sister and his dad, which is the older man and come and find out who's crying and what's going on. So they found me in the middle on the side of the road in Pak Chong, Thailand, as a baby, and I was across or down the street from Temple School, and they just grabbed me from there. And then once they realized and figured I was born without legs, because when they unwrapped me and took me home, you know, I was just wrapped in a pink blanket, you know, and I had mosquito bites, and they said that I was probably out there for only a couple hours, no more than a couple hours. But in a distance, they're not sure, but most likely the woman in a distance that they see was watching us from afar, wondering what's going on, or like, you know, all that. But they said she looks just like me, and that's a possibility that could be my mother. So and then they called the Pak Chong police, and the Pak Chong police took me to the Pak Chong hospital, and that's when I got accepted on September 13th to be accepted into the hospital. So my real birthday, they said I was about 3 months old by the time when they found me. So my birth parents raised me until I was probably a couple months, until they decided to give me up. We don't know. We don't know. We still don't know from today what happened to my birth parents. And so they took me into the hospital and raised me for only like probably a year, a couple months or so, until they took me to until I found a foster home for me in Bangkok. And then till I was 5 years old is when I was adopted into a Portland, Oregon family. So.
So, so when you were like telling the doctor that they didn't do the things right, that was the time you were in Bangkok, not Thailand hospital.
When I was so I was in the nursing home for only a little bit. So pretty much they just accepted me in there, and then till they found a foster home for me to live. So I only lived in a nursing home for only like a year or like couple months or so. Not too long, until I had to be transferred to a foster home, which is foster is like somebody who take cares of you until, you know, who knows. And that's when I found my real family, like my real mom and dad, my real father, like a family that loves me at 5 years old. So I was raised in a foster home till I was 5. Yeah.
So what was your childhood like living with your adopted family?
It was a struggle, definitely, because, you know, I think the most hardest one is that I was, you know, it was really hard to tell them what I wanted, because all I knew was Thai. Nobody there spoke Thai. And I was around people that wasn't like me, you know, they look different and they speak different, you know. So imagine like you being around and like you have to live here, and like you're like, okay, what's going on? And like, okay, I want this. I got to go to the bathroom. I want to eat something else. I want this. And it was really hard because all I knew was Thai. So I had to learn English. And it was difficult because transitioning from a different language to another is really hard. And, and I think the hardest thing was that my mom, she went to school to like learn how to take care of somebody like me, so that way she does, you know. And she been talking to other mothers and people to speak. I asked them like, okay, I have this child, she has no legs, what's the accommodation that we need, what should we get her, and what should we do? And she did a really excellent job, so I'm really proud of my mom. Like, she did so much for me, you know. And we connected with a Thai family that's out in Oregon, and concluded in with the whole Thai community group. So that way, you know, okay, she should be in also with her culture that she knows. Like, so she lets me grow with my roots of what I originally was. Yeah. So it was really nice of her, you know. She did a lot. Yeah. Yeah. So but other than that, you know, going to school wasn't a problem. I didn't really when I was younger. I didn't really care that kids were staring at me or pointing at me, and like you were like, oh my gosh, she has no legs. It didn't really bother me. I think it's just like, what the heck am I doing here? Like, what is this? Like, because in Thailand, I couldn't go to preschool because I had no legs. And also it's the fact that you have to travel by boat. So in Thailand, but also in Asian, countries, when you are born with a birth defect, you are hidden. Or you're a girl, you are hidden, like there, like a lot of, but mostly if you're disabled in a country like that, you can't really do much or anything because they don't have accessibilities, or they're not really prone and open to it for centuries, like America, So it's different and it's difficult because I was transitioning to something that's totally nothing like Thailand, and it was a lot. It was a lot for me. I wasn't bullied or anything like that. I had a lot of friends. I had many friends. I think the most important part of my struggle is communication with people.
Because of the language barrier, English barrier.
Yes. And my mom wasn't thinking about like me learning Thai again. Because she wasn't thinking at the time, and she didn't really know many people that can teach me at the time. So, like at the same time, she like, I wish you did, but somehow, things happen. But other than that, I had a really good childhood, and like I grew up with a really great, wonderful family that loves me and take care of me. Like I say, like I think the most important part is that even though they're not blood related, they're your family. The people that loves you and puts you in with their own is your family, is your true mom or dad. It doesn't have to be blood.
So did your parents have other children besides you? And
Yes.
yeah.
Two older brothers. I'm the youngest, so they have three. So I was adopted. I was the youngest out of all, and my brother is only like, I think, 3 years older than me. The middle child, Scott, and then the older child is Todd. He has autism, so he was born with autism, and he still lives with my parents up in Oregon, and he's, I think, 35. 33 or 35. I don't know. I'm not good with age, but I have two older brothers.
And that's their own children.
Yeah, that's their own children. Yes.
Okay. So did they treat you differently than they treat their children?
No, they never treat me differently. I think the most part was like, when they have friends over, it was like, okay, like, or like when they were with their cousins and all that stuff, it's just like, oh, I have a sister without legs and stuff like that, and like they didn't really treat me differently. Like we had a lot of fights, like any other siblings does and all that, but other than that, no, they don't really treat me any different. So yeah.
What about the parents?
No, my parents treat me like, okay, like my parents, they tell me like, you were stubborn. You were really stubborn as a kid. You want to do your own thing in your own way, and you never ask if it's okay for you to do it. You just do it. And I was like, yeah, I guess ever since I was a kid, I have my own perspective in life, and like I just do it. They tell me that usually, like, I would just go hang out with friends or just go do things without asking, and then usually it's something where you should, I guess, in a like for kids in general, you should ask your parents if you can do that first. But I never did. I did my own thing, and they're like, oh, okay. And that's probably one of the reasons why I get in trouble when I was younger, is because I just wanted to do my own thing, and just like I don't really ask them if it was okay, right or wrong. I don't ask them if it's right or wrong. I just handle it in my own way, I guess.
Because you know that they are your adopted parent.
No, it's because I think I have my own perspective ever since I was younger.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what kind of trouble did you get into when you were young?
I think like, I wanted to watch more fireworks with my neighborhood kids. We grew up together, all of us, and they didn't want me to stay past a certain time, and I snuck out, at 12 or 11. And I was like, no, I want to go watch. And I just go across the street, and my mom or my dad would come out and be like, is Kanya here? And they'll be like, yes. and then I get in trouble for that. And also just because a lot, you know, childhood stuff, like, you know, that you know, you're not supposed to do, like, you're supposed to like obey your parents. And I did obey, like, I was, like, you know, I was obedient as a kid, but I think I had my own rules. And yeah, that's why they say I was stubborn. And yeah.
So, so you, since since the time that you can use your hand to walk, so you move around by your hands, correct?
Yeah, I move around by my hands,
By your
like the,
arms, yeah.
yeah, arms. They say that I slide, or I don't really slide, because I do like go up and down on it, and I, you know, and I do like, you know, like go up while I walk and stuff like that. I don't really slide, but yeah, I used a lot of my upper hands. They said that when I was younger, I used to like climb onto shelves and stuff with my upper hand. I would climb up and get ice or food and stuff like that, and then I would just like learn how to get down on my own. So that was cool. It was,
Okay, so
yeah.
so you don't have like a wheelchair at home.
I do have a wheelchair, like when because like, you know, I have a wheelchair when I go grocery shop, or when it's raining, because I don't want to get all wet so much. And not just that, but wheelchairs. You know, I used to be stubborn with wheelchairs. I used to be like, I don't need no wheelchairs, I got it, and stuff like that. But when you get older, it gets to you. Like, you're like, nah, man, I'm just gonna use my chair today. Like, I want to grab some food that's way up on the top, and I'm still short, can't still grab it because I'm short. Yeah, because when I went grocery shopping on my skateboard, it was really hard. I'm just like, okay, no, I'm not, no. So I use my skateboard when I just want to hang out or be free and just do whatever. But like, wheelchairs really help when I'm grocery shopping, because you also have to understand is that I, you know, like, I don't have legs, so I do still need that height. And skateboards skateboards are so fun, but I still need height, you know, when I do stuff. Yeah.
So so you move. How do you move in and out of your car? Like you get on the
So,
chair and things like that.
so pretty much I just fold my chair up. So I have a Caravan 2005. I can't wait to get a new car eventually. Yeah, it's old, but you know, we gotta live and we gotta make through it, right? Can't have everything you want. I don't come from a really rich family, and I have a job and stuff, so I make for my own, you know. But I fold my chair, and there's a sliding door in the Caravan, and so I just fold my chair and I push it up towards the side of the car, and then it folds, so it would be on the side next to the seats in the car. And then I would just like close the sliding door and shut it, and then I just hop onto my car in the driver's seat, and I have hand controls with just one bar. It's a 90 degrees angle. Both of it is for gas and brakes, so I use that.
Oh wow! It's a
Yeah.
special custom made for you.
Yes. There's many different ones. It was I think hands-on concept, or no, not hands-on concept. It was somewhere in Oregon. Sports performance mobility in Portland, Oregon is where I got my hand controls. But you can get them anywhere. You just have to make that appointment. It's like $1,800. It's really expensive, but we only had to pay like $900 because we had insurance. So it's really expensive when, you know, when you have to get extra things. The fact that you're disabled. So
To get that upgrade.
I don't see myself as being disabled, but you know, in society's eyes, I see, you know, I am disabled. And it's okay to be disabled in some ways. I guess for me, of how I would say it is different. I'm just different. So.
So you are still in touch with your parents, yes?
Yes, I am still in touch with my parents, like my adopted parents. My mom just came here a few weeks ago. I showed her around my new place, and it was really fun and great. Yeah. yeah, I'm gonna go back to Oregon probably in the holidays and spend holidays with them. I'm really excited for that, and I just love, LA is the starting point on starting my business and trying to save money and stuff like that. But you can't really save money if you live in LA. So, and not just that, but I love LA and I love California. But at the same time, I just miss the nature feel of like trees and lakes. Like, I would love to live in San Francisco, but it's so expensive. Like, it's really expensive. So, I mean, I love it up there. And you guys are only like 5 hours away from the border of Oregon, which is nice. So I'm like, lucky you guys. But yeah, we can't have everything. People need. I accept what I have and I appreciate it every day. I don't want any more. So yeah, I mean, it would be good. It'd be cool. But that's the thing about people, is that we need to accept what we have and not ask for more all the time. I've learned that. I used to ask so much, like, how come I can't have this? How come I can't have that? And I realized to just to appreciate what I have, because nothing's lasts forever. Life isn't forever, and it's like certain things should really matter. Yeah.
So did you ever find out about your real mother?
No, I never found out more about my real mother, and to be honest, I don't really want to find my parents or my family, because I feel like things happens for a reason, and they did that for a reason, and for me to transition for a new life. I feel like people who does want to find their parents and family, they want to know more about their roots, or they just curious and want to know more about like their family and what happened and all that stuff, which is understandable. But if they want to reach out to me, they're more welcome to reach. I'm everywhere in Asia, so it's not that hard. If you want to reach out to me, I don't mind if they want to reach out to me, but I don't really have the like the ability or wanting to find them, per se.
Have you forgiven her?
I forgive her. I already did. Yeah, I forgive her.
Great. Yeah.
I forgive her. I'm like, thank you. Without this situation, my life wouldn't have been, really extraordinary. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. And at the same time, I get it. Like what happens if she doesn't want to tell her parents, or she doesn't want to let people know that she was pregnant or she was in a tough situation? I understand, because it's different than in America. In Asia, it's a lot different. People look at you down more than in America when you give up your child in a way, and I feel like that happens a lot in Asian cultures. Like there's a lot of abandonment issues in Asia, like a lot, and I mean it's everywhere, but I feel like Asia mostly, in some, like, in different countries, it's really scary to think about it, because it wasn't too long ago when they found a baby by the hospital, and they found it wrapped in mosquito nets, and the mother was just there a couple hours ago leaving her baby right by the hospital. So it's like, wow, it's really, sadly, when you like go there, it's just like kind of like a normal thing, and it's kind of scary to think that. Yeah.
Well, I think somehow, some way, you'll be the one who can change that, or can shift that mindset.
Exactly. That's why I'm here, and I want to like tell people that, and spread the word, and and I want to help them too. So
yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So give us a few samples of big challenges and the struggles that you overcame in your life.
The big things that I have overcome in my life. I would have to say way back when I was in high school and middle school, I was joining the track team, and I didn't
track team.
Running? Yeah, I was. Yeah. But I used a track racer wheelchair, and if it wasn't for my mom, she does a lot for me. she's the one who found all these sports organization because she wanted me to get out there and do the possibilities of stuff. So it wasn't for her, I would have known anything like this. So I thank her a lot, and I hope one day I make $1 million where I can just give her some too, because she does a lot for me. so so yeah so yeah I think the most like thing is, well, the beginning of my years is that I was in the Paralympics, and I was trying to make it to London, and I went to Switzerland for the World Cup, and it was really amazing, and I got first place in track and all that. But then I was like, I want to do something new. And so I got transitioning to like many different things that I already have done before, even before track. And I was just like, I want to focus on this. I want to experiment different things. So that's why I was mono skiing and skating and surfing. I started surfing at age 9 because they saw me skating at in Twalton skate park. So they're like, hey, like, you want to come join us for surfing and stuff? And I did, and it was really cool. And I got to experience all these amazing people and amazing sports that I've done, and I became really good at it. And then so I used my advantages for that. And then Oregon, somebody from a hospital, as when I was Shriners Hospital, somebody from Shriners Hospital got me to kind of like a Make-A-Wish Foundation, but it was like Oregon Foundation. It was Dream Factory of Portland, Oregon. And they say, what do you want to do? You have 3 wish. And I'm like, I want a car. That would be nice. I was like 15, 16 at the time. And then they're like, but mostly I want to be a model, and just like, and I want to like I want to encourage others that I'm comfortable in my own skin, and I don't really think about judgments. And so then they got me to do modeling and a photographer, and that's how I started modeling from there. And we tried on different clothes and do different things, and that's how I started making my profile to become a model. And that's when modeling started raise up for me. So it was really interesting. Yeah. And I just want to thank them so much, because they did a lot for many other kids to have opportunities and things. And it was really great experience. And that's how, that without them and without my mother and all that, I wouldn't be doing what I do and be the person who I am here today. So, yeah.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you learn the lessons of courage and independence despite of your physical limitation?
I think most of it has to be from the nurses that I've been around with, that gave me a lot of love and gave me a lot of positive energy. And also I think being myself as my personality, I'm stubborn. I want my own way. I always been like this ever since I was a baby. I think it has to also deal with my personality clashing with other people's energies. And I had to go from different places to places through my life. Like, I had to live in a hospital. I was found, and I had to live there for a little bit, and then I was transitioning for my foster parents, and then I was adopted. All of that connects. And I had to go through things where it's just like, okay, I think I just had to transition myself naturally to do that. And I think it's just also the fact that part of it has to deal with just who I am as a person, and also my mother and my family, my adopted family. They taught me and obedient me, and when I was a kid, and I learned things. And I think it was mostly my parents that let me be free. They let me have a free spirit. And if I was with somebody that kind of holds me down and like say no a lot, or like was skeptical about me and all that, I probably would have a different mindset. But I never had that. And my life adventure, my mom wanted me to just conquer the world pretty much, and just like, you got this, you can do it. And that's what, yeah. So I think it has to deal with my childhood throughout my life and experiences. And there was a lot of devastation and crying, and because I wanted the things that I wanted and I couldn't have it. Not talking about like things in general, but how to communicate to people, because my first language was Thai, and my grammar is different. I don't know a whole lot of words like Americans, when they grew up like learning English, they know a lot more words than me, than transitioning for a foreigner. So yeah, so it's really amazing life experience that I had to go through. And people build me, but mostly myself. It has to come from within. You have to know yourself. So
Yeah, that's
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
So, which of the following activities that you enjoy the most, like modeling, acting, speaking, or doing stunts for movies?
So I would have to say I really love acting, because I really want to kind of showcase that, like, we don't need to use CGI all the time. We don't need to have all these actors and actresses that are very well known play our part of certain things, because we have real people like that, and we can just use real people. When I was playing Hawaii 5-0, it was so incredible, because I surfed, and like I got to experience Hawaii. And but the most important part was that, like, I was playing a character that was a veteran, or like she lost her legs during a war, and I had to be in my mindset to play that character, even though she serves and she's she has tattoos and all that. But I had to put myself to play that part, and it was really hard because I never lost my legs, and I have a different mentality or mindset than this character I was playing. I was like, come on, Rosie Valera, like, get yourself together. Like, come on, you got this. Don't be a downer, But I had to play that part where I'm like, oh, poor me. I have no legs. I'm homeless. I'm abused to my parents. And I'm just like, wow, this character is really upsetting and sad. But again, there's people actually like that, and you don't know what they're going through. And we have different life, we have different minds, and you don't really know unless you're them, and they don't really know and understand unless they're us in some ways, and that's why all of us, if we get all together in one, we can just be together and learn about each other. And that there's help out there. You can get counseling, you can get help. You don't need money to get help. You can just take time for yourself and being in nature, listen to music, put yourself in a vibe. I think people have excuses or complain too much the fact that, well, I can't get help because I don't have money. I don't have that. It's like, you don't need money to get help. Life, you don't need money for life. Life is free, Yeah. So I think yeah. So acting gets me in a many different position of just experience characters and what I do, and also stunt, because I do my own stunts too, like in The Walking Dead and Cold Black. It's really fun to work with these artists that, like, we're gonna make prosthetics for you, and it's really cool seeing how they create all these like things that look real but they're fake, that you see on TV. And I just love to be on camera. So I want to do more of that, and I will. So it's just time consuming. But yeah. But I think mostly, I don't know. I'm like everywhere. Like, I love it. I love everything that I do, to be honest. But I think most of the goal is acting, stunt, and more motivational speaking, just traveling the world, helping others, people like me. So
Yeah, I think those venue will help you, right? So acting to
Yes.
get you spread further, right?
Yes.
And then speaking is for your reason, your vision, your mission,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome. So,
Thank
do
you.
you
Yeah.
remember any funny or scary moment while you were on these jobs?
So one of the things, what happened was, well, my boyfriend came with me on set one day, and we were filming in Austin, Texas, in this really open area. Like, we were literally in the middle of nowhere. Like, this is where people probably got kidnapped or murdered, and we were there, and I was like freaking out because I had to be in a swamp of creek of water, and I'm just like, is this sanitary? Because this looks like something that people just like pee in, you know? And I don't want to get sick. It was that I'm like, how long do I have to? I don't question. I just do it because I'm getting paid for it. And and one time, he said that he was just watching me filmed down there in the creek area. He was alone out nowhere. He was alone out in nowhere, and he was just by himself. He felt someone do this to him, and he was looking, and he's like, wait, what? There's nobody around, and he feels it's a woman's spirit trying to be like, hey, draw attention to me, and he's like, and he got all white, and he was freaking out, but he didn't want to like act on that because he's like, that's weird, because imagine if somebody touched you, but you're looking at where they touch you, but there's nothing there, and so that's one thing that happened. I think the other one, this isn't a ghost story, but it was really hot. It was like 102 degrees, and I was, they do these makeup on me for hours, like 3 to 4 hours. Like it wasn't that long, but one of them was long. I had to wear a bodysuit pretty much for this other stunt that I had to do. And I was there from like 6 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't film till like literally 7 o'clock p.m. at night. So I was in this bodysuit, and it was black because I was playing a charged up zombie that's going to be in the back of the car, and I had all these like chemicals on me, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, and I have to be in this weather that's like sunny and hot, and this was in Atlanta, Georgia. So it was like, and they're like, hey, I have to be dehydrated, but at the same time they're like, well, you have to pee in this cup, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. I think that's like one of like a really, like, it was fun, but at the same time I'm just like, damn, like I could barely eat because the tooth or the mouthpiece didn't fit me, so they had to like, okay, we have to glue these on, and I'm just like, and I don't want to taste the paint at all, so I'm just like, oh my gosh, and I had no assistant to help me at that time, so I had to do everything on my own and stuff like that, which is fine, but it was hot. Imagine you in a bodysuit outside for 8-10 hours until you have to film, and you don't want, and you don't want to like overdo yourself on drinking so much water because you have to pee, but when you have to pee, you have to like pee in this cup. And I'm just like, oh man, this is like probably one of the worst. I mean, it wasn't bad or anything like that, but it was just like a really crazy experience.
That's funny.
I think the most experience I want to get back is something like Hawaii Five-O, because stunt and actresses, they get different type of like credibility and different treatments and stuff like that. I think I'm more bougie because I like to have that high maintenance, and I'm not really high maintenance, but I do like extravagant. So I'm like, I want to be more of an actress, but stunt is really fun because I still get, it's not just about pay, but you get to experience that you're part of the show, So yeah, and I loved it. I want to do more than just The Walking Dead, and I will, but I'm excited for more upcoming opportunities that's going to happen. So.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything you are not able to do it physically?
I would have to say probably, I don't know. That's a really hard one to think about, but probably, because I can play soccer. I have a video of myself playing soccer and scoring. I can do that because I can run on my hands and kick the ball and all that. I would have
How
to
did you
say,
kick the ball?
with my
With what?
hands, with
Oh,
my
with your
hand.
hand. Okay.
Yeah, and I just did it, and my friends joke about it and be like, "That's a handball. That doesn't count," you know. So I'm like, my way. But I probably would have to say, I don't know. I have to think about that one because uh, I don't know because I don't know. I have to think about that one. I don't know.
You can swim, right?
Oh yeah. Well, I surf. I have to know how to swim.
Okay.
So I don't know. I think I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities, and like you can't never say never. So because you never know that you can make that possible. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah.
So, do you plan
Um,
to have a family someday?
I do not. I do not want kids. I don't want family at
You don't
all.
want family? No
No,
husband, no spouse?
no. So this is the one thing about finding somebody that wants the same thing as you and balances. Me and my boyfriend, we've been together for almost like over a year and a half, and we both don't believe in marriage. We believe that marriage should be through God's eyes, not through paper, and we believe that we can celebrate our love, have a ceremony and all that party stuff, and we don't want kids because we already have a cat. um, that's my kid. I think I'm already a kid by heart, that I'm just like, no. I'll play with other people's kids, but I'm good. I don't want kids. I never really was intrigued about that whole tradition. I'm not very traditional type of people, like person. Same with my boyfriend. He's not really traditional either. So it's good to find somebody that balances out with you with that circumstances. So we just want to travel, live our life, make money, and have a house, and live in nature. And that's really what's important. I'm good. Maybe my next life, but no.
But a partner, right? So he
Yeah, he's
is
my partner.
your
Yeah,
partner.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mind. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody's
You know
there
what's
to
so funny?
support you.
You know what's so fun? Well, I want him, but I don't need him.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I want him, but I don't need him. Yeah, I don't need a man, but I want him, and I have him, and I really appreciate that he's in my life. I feel like the most important part that women need to understand is that you need to be independent and capable for yourself first before you get into a relationship, because the most important part is you have something to fall back to, and you have that strength to fall back to. I feel like women these days, they're 18, 19, 20 years old, out of high school, and all they do is they want to do that traditional stuff, get married, have kids. And it's like, dude, how about you travel the world, focus on yourself, and make time for yourself instead of trying to be dependent on other people. You don't need that. You can be independent and be on your own yourself, and I just feel like like right now in this whole new generation, a lot of women my age, even younger, want something so more. I mean, that's great. I'm really happy for them, and that's what they want, and that's what they love, and that's what settles them, and people have their own different mentality or like thoughts on that. But for me, I really feel like having a boyfriend, a partner, a best friend, he's everything, but he's not everything. So, and he knows that.
That's great. It's well put.
Yeah.
I'm totally aligned with that because um, I grew up follow traditional way and been married for 36 years now, and I've struggled in that traditional way, and I think the best way to do is learn the skills and get the skills to be independent, right? Even though that you want someday to get married, to have children, but
Yes.
you know that you can rely on yourself. If something happens, you can support yourself,
Exactly. You
right?
know what? One thing is that people need to understand also is that, like, when you are in a relationship, when you are married or whatever with your partner, both of you need to have your own life. You need to have your own lifestyle individually instead of together. You need that balance. So that's how you have a healthy relationship. Yeah.
What is your next project?
My next, I'm going to the X Games. I got invited to the X Games, so I'll be leaving to Minneapolis in the next couple weeks to compete and skate for skateboarding. So I'm really excited for that. ESPN Sports is going to be there, and I always wanted. My dream was always the X Games. Like I always want to be in the X Games, and I have this opportunity, and I'm so excited to meet all these other amazing skaters like Philippe and my friend Ernie. He's so amazing, and I'm excited to see all my friends skating too, and also compete with them. So I'm so excited for that. And after that, I really want to go back to Thailand again so I can bring my mother this time. She hasn't been for the last 19, 20 years. So I really want to take her back to Thailand and travel there and just have her experience of what I experience in adult life, you know? So that'll be a lot of fun. Also, I have a lot more upcoming things I can't say, but yeah, but I'm really excited for it, and I hope I believe in the goddesses that it's going to continue. I've been seeing 222, 333, 1111, so a lot of things are
Duplicate.
happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I know that my angels are watching over me, and they know, so I'm excited. Mhm. I think the most important part is like make more money so I can be comfortable. so so yeah,
Do
we're
you
all
still?
struggling.
Well, if you believe in angel, you don't use the word struggling.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, I guess more of it. It's just uh, like know within myself better that there's possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Do you still speak Thai?
No, I only know a couple words. I don't speak Thai. If I learned it, I can catch up really fast. But all I know is Sawadee ka, Kapkun ka, Mak Mak means delicious, and that's about it. I,
So when you plan to take your mom
mhm.
to visit Thailand, then maybe you take a tour, right?
Well, so I have family out there that can translate for me. So every time when I go to Thailand, my counselor or my manager, um, she speaks Thai fluently and speaks English. So that's what she do. She know me ever since I was a baby. She's the one who helped me go through processing through different foster moms. And all that. So yeah, when I'm there, she helps. Her name is Tuck. And my caseworker, my case manager, my caseworker. So I'm excited. So she's such an amazing woman. She's really funny, and uh, and also uh, May Toy and May Toy and May Nak or May Young. I forgot. Oh my gosh, I'm so bad at names. But May Toy and all of them, they did so much. Like they were like another mother to me. So it's really cool to still have family in Thailand. Even if I want to live in Thailand probably for only a year and then come back. I just want to experience that whole culture again for a whole year, and that'd be really cool. But first, I need to do some stuff to get to there. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah.
So what are the top three tips that you want other Asian women to know so that they can live life powerfully?
I think it's to be more communicative. Don't be afraid to voice your opinions and have actions towards yourself. That's the one thing is that like if for women, if we can just stick together, not just stick together, but voice ourselves and just be out there because that's what oppressed us is the outer world and the way how the system is and all that. And I feel like we can all change the world by being more vocal about certain things and opinions, and it's okay. Also, I think we should stop comparing ourselves like we always do with Instagram. I feel like every woman on Instagram, they look the same. Like I don't care how much million followers you have, but all those people, they do the same pose, they look the same, and just like focus on yourself. don't worry about whose other side is greener than yours, you know. And because I feel like if we focus on what other people have and comparing ourselves with other people, we're not going to have our goals or opportunities to make it to what we want, because you're focusing on the negative, you're not focusing on yourself, which is the positive. And also I think I also think, and I feel that Asian woman, you know, they have they I feel like Asian women, they have some type of kind of like they, because like, you know, it's like everywhere everywhere, you know. But I feel like Asian women, they have where like they want to be included in certain things, and that's why like they feel like they have to be a certain way to approach certain people in some ways, you know. And I just feel like you know, like for me, I don't really hate I don't really have a lot of Asian friends, but I just feel like when I see a lot of Asian women, they have a certain way of kind of like what when kind of like when, you know, when oh my gosh, there's an airplane or something. But kind of like when kind of when you know how, like it's just like they know right from wrong in certain extents, and they feel like they're being kind of like, okay, I need to, like my mother, like my birth mom, she probably had to have me because she probably tried to abort me in some ways, or she tries to, you know, she has no other ways of dealing with her pregnancies, who knows. But also the fact that, you know, it's really hard for women in different cultures to have, like, again, opinions on what they want, you know. I feel like Asian women, they have a lot more strict structures in life, and they're, you know, and it's very an oppressed country in certain parts. And I just feel like you know, they be judged on so much of what they do, like it's ridiculous. And what you should and shouldn't do. And I just feel like, you know, we need, like, all of us, like, we just need to tell the world that this is our body, this is my mind, this is my own true self. I can do whatever I want in a respectful manner, you know, and, you know, in a good sense, you know, because there's different, like, to an extent, you know. But like I just feel like we just need to let Asian women have a lot more freedom than they usually don't in some ways, you know. And let them not feel like they have to shut from the world when certain things happens, and let them have their own voice and their own power and their own mind to just like speak their minds and to be away. Because I've seen like some Asian, you know, beautiful Asian woman and stuff like that, but they want to do something more than just being so prosper and, like, you know, like, just like, you're a female, you should, like, you know, do this, like, do the dishes, or like clean. And no, you can't be president, no, you can't do what a man should do, you know. And I just feel that, and I was like, yeah, we can be president, we can be a next, like, big thing that what a man does. And, like, you know, we're not just like an Asian woman that you see at a Chinese restaurant trying to, you know, work for her husband's company. You can have your own company and be a woman and stand up for yourself.
Yeah, I'm totally aligned with that.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I name this this podcast in my company is Asian Women of Power.
Yeah.
And the goal is to live life loud, to live your
Yeah.
life out loud, not quietly, to let the world know who what you up to.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Well, because I just feel like a lot of Asian, like, women, they have to listen to what their husband says, and what they have to do. Not just that, but like they have to take care of the house. They have to take care of their parents because, you can't do anything else. You can't work and be your own boss. No, you have to like take care of me and grandma. You have to take care of Papa. You need to take care of my kids. You need to take care of kids. You need to clean the house, and you need to work for my business, your husband, and listen to what your husband said. No, I don't have to listen to you. The only person that voiced my own opinions and be the boss for myself is myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you want others to reach out to you?
Instagram. I have Instagrams, Kanya Sesser, Kanya Sesser, Sesser. You'll see me. I'm next to the blue check mark, and yeah. So that's Instagram is pretty much where it's at.
That's how it's the best way to connect.
Oh yeah, definitely. I feel like without Instagram, I probably wouldn't have some of the opportunities I have today. Instagram really helped me networking with people, and people reaching out to me and me reaching out to them. And it really helps networking and just do more works and jobs. And I feel like without Instagram, it's you know what I feel like people who couldn't be as loud has a voice through Instagram in some ways, and
Not
social
Facebook?
media. I have Facebook, but I don't really go on Facebook. I think Facebook's more for personal stuff, like my family and stuff. So I don't really post much on Facebook, and I don't really look. I have over like 20,000 messages on Facebook, so I don't look at that. So Instagram,
God.
Instagram is where I am a lot, and I'm really more organized on Instagram. So Instagram.
Okay. I need to learn how to use Instagram so that I can
It's
spread the
really easy,
message.
but yeah, it's really easy.
Yeah. I think well, I don't know if I have an account, but I will check it out.
Yeah, like Instagram, you can post pictures, you can broadcast yourself. A lot of podcast people that does these type of things, that's how they broadcast. Besides YouTube, they broadcast their Instagram, and you can get millions and millions of followers. I have over like 60,000 followers almost on Instagram. I'm trying to keep getting followers, but I don't really, I care, but I don't really care for followers because I'm not really those type of people that has to post every day. I think I mostly post stories a lot more than I post on my like feed. So
Yeah. All right. So Kanya, thank you so much for
oh my
being
gosh,
a
thank you so
guest.
much.
Yeah, thank you for being a guest on the Asian Women of Power podcast. Your life is a great example of how to live life loud, which is a movement that I want all women, especially Asian women, to join.
Hmm.
Now, for you, our listeners and viewers, I hope you feel inspired from Kanya's story and now have more courage to take on the things you have been postponed. We want to hear from you. Until next time, live life loud.
And no
Goodbye.
legs, no limits.
No legs, no limit. Thank you.
Thank you.